On this episode of Street Rat Garage, we are back again with our series of flipping cars to pay off my 2021 Jeep Wrangler. And in case you haven't seen it yet, this is a series about how I started with just scrap metal and turning it into one vehicle and another vehicle and so forth and so on. And we're doing that in order to pay off this 2021 Jeep Wrangler that I bought, and I had to put about $15,000 on a loan. So we need to get rid of that loan. So we are flipping cars now in order to get up to that $15,000 mark so we can pay this guy off. Now what we have here is our latest purchase. This is a 2008 Ford Crown Victoria. We bought it at the Kessler Schaefer auto auction. There's actually a video of that. We bought two Crown Vics that are pretty much, similar. This one was just cheaper and it fits our budget that we have when we sold our van. If you watched the last episode, we had a 2007 Chrysler, no, not a Chrysler, a Dodge Caravan, which we bought off of govdeals.com. We only paid $395 and some change for that van. We sold the van and we sold it for $1,200. So that leaves us with a profit. And the van was bought for about $400, and we had to process the title. So that was an extra $100. So we have approximately $500 in the van. We sold it for $1,200. So we made a little bit of profit. We had like $23 left over. So we have a grand total of about $1,223. Now, this car right here, we got out of the auction and we won it with a bid of $750. Now, there are some auction fees and there will be another $100 registration fee on top of that. So we're looking at about $900. So we'll have about $900 into this car. We have up to $1,200 to spend on this car, getting it ready to go. So hopefully we won't have to do that much, and we'll have a little bit of extra money going in. This car, it has about 200,000 miles on it. And the interior, well, it's not that great. This was used as the Indianapolis IPS, Indianapolis Public School police vehicle. And it was used a lot. Apparently there was a lot of sitting in this car and getting in and out with gun belts and getting in, and those things just rip the seat all apart. I mean, it's terrible. And it has the old cheap plastic but functional carpet or mats in it. It doesn't have a center console anymore. This other seat is fine. There's nothing wrong with this seat. And it has the vinyl back seat, which not much going on there. It's perfectly fine. Everything's good except for this seat and that. The steering wheel's a little boogered up, but that's not so bad. Now this side of the car, well, it's in pretty good shape. Good quarter panels, and it looks like it's had a repaint at some time. There's a little bit of shininess here from where the stickers were. I think we can run a buffer across it and get that out. There's some stripes here that should be able to buff out, but this door's in good shape. That quarter panel's in good shape. There's a couple chips here. Everything's, well, it's got some rust right here. For some reason, these cars really like to rust on the passenger fender. They will do it, driver's fender. They will do it on the passenger fender, but not nearly as much. But a lot of these in the Midwest, they're just rusted on this fender and only this fender, and the other one's just fine. It's kind of weird, but it has some rust. We're not going to bother with this. It's actually been painted over before, so they knew it. There's a couple marks here. They've touched up the paint, trying to keep this thing in service for as long as they could. It's the public schools. They don't have a bunch of money, so they have to take care of their stuff as long as possible. Now, if we come over here to the passenger side of the car, well, things start to get a little weird. So, like I said before, perfectly fine on the passenger side fender. Good fender. Now the door, this door and this door, they got some dents. It looks like somebody scraped up against the car, or the car scraped up against somebody, one of the two, but just a little bit of ding here, but we got a big bit of ding right here, and we have a little bit of rust right there. And on the quarter panel, there's a little bit of dinging action as well. You can see it better right here. Just something came right in there and just sideswiped that a little bit. Got all of this. Who knows what happened, but they painted over this, so it was still in service for, looks like, quite a while longer with all the dents. They're just painting over everything. But this is the bad part. It's got some rust right here. We're not going to fix that because it's just going to add to the price of the car. And whoever buys this car, it has 200,000 miles on it. Whoever buys this is just going to want something to run and drive. And if they want to fix it up, they can do that. We're trying to keep the price down on this car. So I don't even think we're going to replace this door, which would be a pretty easy thing to do. But with the repaint, there's a chip here, and the white that's on top is not quite the same color as the white that's underneath. So if we buy another door, the white might not match. It's going to be off a little bit. So if we find a cheap door, we'll throw it on, but I'm really not wanting to because I don't want this color to be that far off. Another problem right here is, well, we're missing a mirror. We really need a mirror on this side because that makes a lot of difference. Back in the old days, you didn't always have a mirror on this side, but everybody's used to having a mirror. And I think this is going to add to the value. Not everybody can throw a mirror on. These are pretty easy to do. There's like 3 or 4 bolts and a wire. No big deal. We'll find a mirror for this. Now let's have a look underneath the hood and see if anything is missing. Well, it's not bad underneath it here. Not all greasy and grimy and oily. It looks like we have a fresh battery in here. There is one thing though, actually a couple things. When I first got the car, the alternator was bad. We got it from the auction, we let it run for a little while. It wouldn't start back up, and I tested it and the alternator was not working. So I stole this alternator off the other car we bought at the auction. So this car owes the other car an alternator. So we're gonna have to go get an alternator from the salvage yard, and we'll add the price against this car because, you know, we technically got a new alternator for it. And this little piece right here, I stole it off the other car too because that was missing. So we'll add the price of this and the price of that to the car, which this should be like maybe 50 bucks at most. Local pull parts will have that, but everything looks pretty good underneath here. Let's fire her up and see what she sounds like. Okay, well, the hood shocks are not great, but yeah. Anyway, it does have the self-closing hood option, so there's that. If you listen close, there's a slight exhaust leak, which we're not going to worry about. It goes away a little bit when it starts to warm up, but the car sounds fine. Nothing wrong with that. Take a look, listen at the back here. Yeah, there she goes. Sounds just fine. Has a good engine, and it runs pretty good. Let's go for a ride. All right, seatbelt's on. This seat is uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. We're gonna have to do that. Even if we don't match the color, it has to have a new seat. This one is, I don't know, sort of a goldish tan color. This interior, it's a little bit weird. A lot of the ones from the Indianapolis Police Department are sort of a grayish color, black and gray, checkered color like this, only, you know, in gray and white. So it might be a little bit difficult to find. Some of the sheriff cars have this tan interior in them though. If we can find one of those, we'd be doing pretty good. So we're gonna have to check out the local salvage yards. They've been selling a lot of Crown Vics, and yeah, a lot of them were wrecked and went to the salvage yard. So hopefully we can find one. Yeah, you can hear that exhaust leak. It'll subside a little bit once it warms up. Probably, I don't know, do these have the donut gasket on it, or do they have the the ball sort of joint, like, I don't know, but probably either leaking from that gasket or the exhaust manifold gasket is leaking a little bit, which I do not want to mess with, because again, we will be adding price to the car, and we want to sell this to somebody that needs a good running car that only has like not a lot of money. This is November and the holidays are coming up, and this is not the time to be buying vehicles, and the camera is tilted a little bit there. Not the time to be buying vehicles for people. They're low on money, so we have to keep the prices down until the first of the year, until tax season. Tax season comes, the prices and the quality of the cars definitely go way up. We're going to try to have a few cars in reserve for tax season. So overall, this is it's a good running car. Everything on the inside seems to work just fine. It goes down the road, it shifts through all the gears. There's nothing wrong with this. This is a good quality vehicle for somebody that needs basic transportation to go back and forth to work, to make more money, buy a better car. All right, she runs down the street, she drives, she stops, it shifts through all the gears, it does everything a good basic transportation car needs to do to get you back and forth to work and make you some money. So we need to go find a seat. We need to find that mirror. And man, I sure like to replace that carpet. These cars had really good carpet in there when they were equipped with it, and the carpet would last like forever. I don't know if we're going to find any carpet, and I don't know if we want to pay for that. Anyway, anything else we need? I don't think we really need anything else. We're going to try to make about $500 off of this car. We made way more off the van, but it was a ridiculous deal. You make all your money when you buy the vehicle, not so much when you sell the vehicle. So we're not going to make as much money as we did off of this, but if we can make about $500 and get our next purchase up to, you know, in the $2,000-ish range, then we'll be doing pretty good, almost $2,000 maybe. But let's go put these parts on and see how it looks after that. Oh, we got to clean it too. All right, it is another day out, and because it is the Midwest, it went from nice and sunny to freezing cold. Actually, it was rainy last time. Went from rainy to snowy to cold. So it's not below freezing, so we can wash this car today. Hurry up and get this done, because tomorrow it will be below freezing. So we need to get this done as soon as possible. Let's hit it with a music montage and get this sprayed off. Okay, she is nice and clean now. Unfortunately, we lost our microphones because it's too cold outside, so we'll just have to talk a little bit louder and right to the camera apparently. So I was able to go to the junkyard, and I was able to get a mirror. I was able to get an alternator from a Ford Excursion, a 2002 Ford Excursion that I just happen to have up at Street Right Garage Worldwide headquarters. I popped the hood, I looked down, it's like, man, that alternator just looks just like the Crown Vic. Pull it off, it's the exact same alternator. V10 and a 4.6, they have the same alternator on it. And because it was a fire department vehicle, probably, it has a big industrial alternator, just like the police car here. So that was free. This was $20 at the salvage yard. We got the filler panel and put it back on the other car we stole the other filler panel off of, and put that other alternator on that other Crown Vic that we stole the alternator off of. So we're out $20, $5 for the other part. We're out 25 bucks for parts for this car now. Wasn't able to find the seats yet. Looked all over, and there's just no seats, or they're just totally destroyed. So I don't know what we're going to do with the seat. We may have to put a seat cover over it and just bear and grin it. I don't know. hopefully I can find one. Waiting for the title work to come in, so we got like another week to find a seat. But it's all clean, it looks good, and we're gonna put this mirror on next and see if there's anything else that we need to fix. All right, we are here with our mirror, and make sure I got the right side. Yeah, I got the right side. That'd be funny if I got the wrong one. But all that we really need to do is take this panel off right here, and there's 3 screws and a plug-in that goes right in there. I don't know if we have to remove the whole door panel, but I've never changed the mirror on a Crown Vic. But if we do, maybe we can just sort of pry it in. You think they would have made this like one piece that you could just pop off, stick in there, change it out, and put the other one back in, but I'm not sure if that's the case. Let's find out. Gave me just enough room. I just pulled this panel back just a hair, and popped out the top clip, and then I was able just to pull that right on off of there. It's kind of only has one little tab in it though, so I hope that this other tab holds it on just fine. Yeah, it should. Well, actually that's a tab there, and that's a tab, so that's what holds it on. Just slide it in there like that, pop off this one button, and then you're ready to go. You got 1, 2, 3 screws right there, and then we'll pull the mirror out with the remote wire. All right, those 3 are out. Let's see if we can get this guy to slide on out of here, or will we have to go in through the door panel anyway to undo the... Oh, okay, it doesn't pull out. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so the door panel is off now. Not the easiest, but once you know how to do it, I guess it's easy, because you have to take the we'll see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like a couple screws that go here and here, and there's one that goes in the side right there through the door panel. And yeah, it's a little bit of mess. And you got to take the switches out, then get that one that's down inside of there, so there's a hidden one. But then we just peel this back, and we find this guy right here. Yeah, there we go. We disconnect this one, and then we should be able to pull our mirror out, hopefully, without scratching the paint. There we go. It comes out not easy, not just that easy, but easy enough. I'll look at that. So you can see they repainted the car and really didn't do that great a job of taping it off apparently. So definitely has been repainted. All right, and just like that, the mirror is on. There we go. Looking much better. That is an important thing to go ahead and throw back on the car. It definitely needed that. So I'm going to hit this dashboard real quick, maybe clean up these floor mats, even though it has a big hole right there. At least make it appear a little bit cleaner. We got the important thing done right now. We're not having to do much. We replaced the alternator, that mirror, that little thing that covers the radiator, but we still haven't found that seat, man. I don't know what I'm going to do about that one. Foam and a seat cover? Oh, that would be awful. Oops, I forgot a little cover right there. So let's get to cleaning this up real quick. Wipe it down, make it look shiny, and then it'll be about time to put it up for sale. All right, I like to hit the inside with the old Black Magic here. If you haven't ever used this, it's really good stuff. Most people probably use it already, but silicone-based product. It really makes everything nice and shiny. Plus, it gets into the pores. It helps prevent cracking and the material from drying out. So, but most importantly, it makes it look nice. I'm going to wipe this down real quick, and we'll have a look and see how everything is. Okay, well, everything is wiped down and looking pretty good. I'm just going to get some of that off of the instrument cluster. There's some scratches on the instrument cluster for some reason, and a little bit of junk underneath the little reset doohickey. Yeah, that's better. So Yeah, let's look at this real quick. And there it is. I don't know what was here, or if that comes off. I'm not going to take it off because it's probably all gooey underneath of there. But something was sitting up here, maybe a phone holder, I'm going to guess. Anyway, dashboard's all nice, not cracked up or anything. These are not the plastic ones. These are still the, I don't know what they're made out of, but they're still flexible so they don't get hard. So usually the Crown Vic dashboards are in pretty good shape. All the gauges are good. The steering wheel is a little bit beat, but 200,000 miles on this car, it's going to be that way. But we've got to do something about our other seat. I wish our other seat looked as good as this one. This is one nice seat. I wish I could find a good seat for this side, or find another crappy seat for that side and save this for a good car. Now, we're not going to do that, but we do need to find a good seat. Or I think we're going to lose a couple dollars and make it a little bit harder to sell. You got the floor mats all nice and cleaned up there, so that's all good. This whole side of the car is just great. It's like this car was just worked from the driver's seat, and that's it. Which this was a school police car, so not a whole lot going on. It's mainly just kind of sitting there watching some of these places, making sure everything's going good. This has a lot of idle time on it, and a lot of seat time. Definitely a lot of seat time. It's cleaned up on the inside and the outside, so all that I'm going to do now is wait for the title to come back in the mail in about a week, and then we'll post it up for sale. So in the meantime, I will be looking for a seat. If I can't find a good seat that matches this color, I think I'm going to just pull that other seat out of the Crown Vic, which is a darker color. But I'd rather have a darker color seat in this car than that ripped up nasty seat. That is going to be so much better. Or we can just put in the better seat and throw a couple seat covers over it. Either way, it's going to be way better than that seat. So I will update you on the next time we get another car to flip, tell you how much this one sold for and how much profit we have towards paying off our Jeep. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Street Rat Garage. Until next time.